Welcome everyone to another episode of In One Ear Local Music News with Casey Warner and Kendal Hahn. Kendal was gone last episode, but nonetheless, she is back this episode here a week later. How you doing, Kendal?
Good. Glad to be back, Casey.
All right. We're glad to have you back. We're glad to have Kendal back. She makes this what it is. And here tonight, we got a couple special guests, always special guests, but really special guests tonight. Lee Harvey and Cody Meek, two multifaceted artists here in the 270 Bowling Green music scene. How are y'all doing, fellas?
All right.
Good. How you doing, Lee? Good, y'all. Yeah, great for y'all to be on here. So, yeah, we're going to get things started. And, Kendal, what do we got tonight?
Yeah, Lee, we'd love to know, about your band experience, kind of who your band was in the past, and then kind of what you're doing now on your own. I know you're kind of solo, so if you just want to go into that, how you really got started in the scene.
Well, in the singing, I got started playing drums. And started playing drums when I was 10, started playing in some little bands when I was maybe 14, 15, playing battle of the bands and stuff.
Cool.
Okay.
And then I wanted to write songs, so I just started writing just what I knew at the time. I was in my mid-20s, so I knew heartache and drinking.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, okay.
That's kind of how I got the Lee Harvey thing. And I played acoustic for a long time.
Okay.
And had like one or two people playing with me. Took a 10-year hiatus. Took some really bad advice. Somebody told me to get a real big boy job. Stopped playing music for a while, so I did that for a little while.
Not fun.
So a few years ago, I wanted to put a band back together, and I called my buddy James Cadillac, who had played with me before, and I called a friend of mine from Owensboro, who's in a band called the Gaslight Boys.
Okay.
Ross Clark, and he was playing bass, and Brooke Monday, he's a drummer who had played with me before, and some lineup changes had happened, and I had known of Cody for a pretty long time, and I knew he played lap steel and guitar, so I contacted him, and he told me he wanted to think about it, and I really respected that and appreciated it, because I don't ever want anybody to play in my band or play with me that doesn't want to.
Sure.
And I've had people in the past want to play music with me because they like me, but they didn't necessarily like the music.
Yeah.
And
kind of like that pressure of wanting to please you.
it's like you're a really great musician, but if you're not really digging what we're doing.
Makes
So
sense.
up until just a few months ago, it was Cody playing lap steel and some guitar, and James Cadillac on guitar, and Brooke Monday on drums. Shelby Smith had played bass with us for a little while, and the pandemic kind of pushed things off.
Right.
I had some things going on in my personal life, so I just kind of take a little hiatus from the band for right now, but still want to put some stuff back together in the future.
Yeah, that's great.
Absolutely. So, I mean, I know Cody here. Cody's produced music videos for El Astronaut. I've seen that before. He's done all kinds of stuff in the scene. So, Cody, let's hear it from you, man. What kind of have you done in the scene and your past, experiences in bands and whatnot? Let's hear it, dude.
I started a band called P.Y.L.O.T in probably 2000, and we played for 8 years. And, that was probably the most popular band I was in. But we barely touched Bowling Green, for what it's worth. Bowling Green never supported metal. Played in Louisville a lot. Played in Glasgow a lot, where we're from. And when that deal split, I started doing a deal called IMU, this extreme stoner rock psychedelic band.
I like it, man. I like it.
Josh Lennon was in that band. You had to
Oh, really? No way.
Josh Lennon played bass in that
Nice.
band.
Okay.
Josh Lennon also helped P.Y.L.O.T a lot. He played bass with P.Y.L.O.T when Shep couldn't do it. But anyway, I mean, it'd take too long to name all these people.
Yeah, sure.
And I was in a band called New Youth. It was an alternative rock band. It was a great band. And then I was in a band called Outhouse Etiquette, and we just split up late 2018.
Okay.
We were around for about 5 years. And then I took some time off, and Lee had messaged me and said, "Hey, would you like to start jamming?" I said, "Hey, I'll think about it." Because
Yeah.
I didn't know what I wanted to do at the time. And I said, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And I'd met him. He worked at Tidball's. And of course, he played there a lot too. And I was, started going to the bars. He's a little bit older, but when I started going to the bars, I was, see different bands, and he was always playing about once a month. So I got to know him, and he ran the door sometimes. Sometimes he's a bartender. So he's kind of a jack of all trades down there at Tidball's.
Yeah, I got you.
And we just had conversations, and we talked about stuff, talked about life, talked about music, bands we liked, songwriting, stuff like that. And for what it's worth, he talked about this 10 years. And I don't know if we've talked about it, but you moved out of town, right? You were living somewhere else.
No, I was living here.
Okay. We're not to interrupt, but I didn't see him for about 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And I
Okay.
remember it may have been 8 years. I don't know. But I
Okay.
remember thinking like, hey, I wonder where he went, where he's at. And then he just shows back up all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And for what it's
Mysterious.
worth, he's kind of a different person now.
Okay.
But a good person. And not that he was not that he was a bad person.
Okay.
That he's always had the songwriting talent, the ability to write the song, and he also has the ability to move forward, and not some. I'm not saying when I say move forward, I mean you write a song and you play that song, and then but you always want to keep going, keep writing more, and that's his biggest talent, I think, is to keep writing songs.
Appreciate it.
And then to keep and try to record as many of them as possible as well, and. When you talk about band members, everybody's played in the Lee Harvey band.
Right. Okay.
Like
okay.
everybody, just about everybody that walked in the bar at one point.
Yeah.
That played music got to play with Lee Harvey at some point. Now,
Good to know.
That's a half joke and a half, but a half truth at the same time.
Okay.
And I don't think that's a bad thing. He's played with a lot of different people. And this last band we had was a really good group of guys mainly, but it was also a good group of talent. And the way the pandemic is kind of not done us any favors, not just us, but any band, any venue. So the way it's panned out now, we're kind of playing it date by date, or however you want to say it. And I think right now the main thing is recording.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
But as far as me, I still jam with people if the opportunity arises.
Of course.
I have to contemplate whether I want to do it anymore. As far as I'm not a young man in my 20s anymore, so I've got to decide how much I really want to do this. I wouldn't really want to drive to Louisville, or whatever, or somewhere. But at the end of the day, I'll do it, because I'm an idiot.
Right. Yeah, because you love music, man. That's what it's all about. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Well, so kind of your current sound, I know you've both said that you've had a lot of different sounds over the years. Who are some influences that you've had? Like, who do you listen to that you think you could really draw some influence from in your music?
My influence ranges everything from David Ruffin and the Temptations to, I used to be a huge AC/DC fan. I still am.
All right.
Grateful Dead's my favorite band.
Yeah.
And for me, that's because when I listen to the Grateful Dead stuff in the late 60s, I get a really great bluesy, psychedelic, experimental sound.
Right.
And they developed, but they could take any cover, even James Taylor's covers, and make it their own. But you get everything from good rock and roll to blues to, psychedelic stuff.
Sure.
I still love old classic Metallica, Megadeth.
Okay.
Awesome.
Some
Like
thrash
that.
metal.
Yeah.
So, it's just, I think that if you're open-minded, you can pull influence from anybody.
Absolutely.
Totally.
Cool. What about
Cody, you?
For me, my favorite band is Depeche Mode.
Okay.
And,
all right.
So I love the new wave, and I love the 80s and the 90s alternative stuff. And I still love the heavy stuff, all over the place with that. Really, the extreme metal, and then just the regular. There's too many genres of metal, by the way.
Yeah, there is.
Yes, but I love Mastodon and Iron Maiden.
All right.
And all the 80s stuff.
Yeah.
Casey's all about that.
Yeah, all into it, man. Yeah, you name it.
But so I'm all over the place too, and a little bit different. Yeah, I don't. Whereas Lee has always went down the country and Americana. Like he's kind of explored that area. That's kind of an area I never really touched, and that's kind of like jamming with him. And of course, I can appreciate a good song. And there's a few Americana bands I've heard. I think, wow, that's a really good song. But like he said, he's not just taking it from one genre. He's took it from, the blues rock genre in general, which is a very wide term.
Absolutely.
It's a huge term.
Yeah.
It can mean anything really. But anyway, and even metal bands took stuff from blues rock. But anyway.
Yeah, got you, man. That's good stuff. I mean, yeah, diversity. That's what I've noticed about everybody that I interview here on In One Ear. Is everybody that we interview is very diverse in their tastes, and they all come from different backgrounds, and that's what makes the scene here so special. Is you got a nice little melting pot of so many different unique artists and people that like different things, and you put it all together, and you get so many unique bands here in the 270, and that's what I love the most, and that's what keeps me going here on In One Ear. Is I can interview all these people, and I can never hear enough about what comes from their music taste and where they've came from influence-wise, and that's why, you know, two great musicians like you all hearing that influence that's awesome stuff, because you never know what somebody's going to like or where they come from, even if their music sounds a certain way. So that's good stuff right there. But this next segment is what I really like to pride myself here on In One Ear. We like to, you know, mix it up a little bit, kind of make it fun, and see what kind of musical knowledge some of our guests here have. So our next segment, we're going to have a little game segment here, a little music quiz, and see what you all know, see what Cody and Lee know about some classic tunes here. So y'all ready for that?
Yes, definitely.
All right, cool.
Now, for what it's worth, I am a plethora of knowledge. I am classic rock.
He is classic rock. See, all right, you got it there. Cody Meek is classic rock. But nonetheless, coming up next, we got Cadillac This Town and Georgia Railway Line by Lee Harvey. You're listening to In One Ear, local music news with Casey Warner and Kendal Hahn.
Lee Harold Oswald has been shot. At the present time, word is that an ambulance is being ready to take Oswald away. We can hear sirens outside. Moving down now into the basement. Here comes the ambulance. And Oswald will be...
She said she don't love me, I'm a mangy dog. She gonna leave me, I live like a hog. She going out to find a big life. She find a rich man, make his wife. She didn't like living a honky-tonk man. Said she always had to listen to my hillbilly band. I decided I'm going out on the town. I find some skirts, chase them around. I wanna get one drunk, shot for shot, get in the back of the Buick, and she'll get hot. I think I forgot Miss Thing, twin leg around love and done kill my pain. Now a good love and a good bourbon, that's my way of life. I don't think every man is having his wife. Make my living honky-tonk band. Me and the boys gonna Cadillac whole damn thing. Gonna list the Bob Wills and old Hank Snow. I'm gonna grab me a girl and dance real slow. Count the bubbles in my beer. It's the best damn time I had all this year. I pour some quarters in and listen to Merle. Oh shit, I done forgot about the stupid ass girl. Now a good love and a good bourbon, that's my way of life. I don't think every man is having a wife. Make a living, honky-tonk band. Me and the boys are gonna Cadillac this whole damn thing. See me and the boys are gonna Cadillac this whole damn thing. Whip wheels at my window, singing me a song. Hearts on her bedpost, Lord, it won't be long. I pack my bags and go away. said she loved me, now I'm not dead sure. Making down in my heart, and Lord, there's no cure. Maybe all this whiskey, it would float away. Gonna pitch me right on that Georgia railway line. Yeah, I'll be back. Take my time. Going out, Lord, where the water flows like wine. I forget I gave her this heart of mine. Out in the wood plains where I'm gonna hang my hat. All I know's in the city, well, I'll forget all that. All guys and creatures become my new friend. Fish for my dinners, the bunner stars, and then wake in the morning and I will begin a new way of life. I hope will never end. Gonna hitch me right on that Georgia railway line. Yeah, I'll be back. Take my time. Going out, Lord, the water flows like wine. I forget I gave her this heart of mine.
All right, we're back here on In1 Ear Local Music News. Casey Warner and Kendal Hahn here with Lee Harvey and Cody Meek, and we got a special music quiz segment coming up right now. We're going to play about 15 to 20 seconds of each song here. We got 3 songs coming your all's way, and we're going to see who can guess first, or see if both of you all can guess the 3 songs coming up here. Y'all ready, fellas?
How do we chime in?
So, I mean, just say it when it just comes to your mind. Yeah, when you know it, just shout out the song name of the artist or whatever. I mean, it's just as soon as it comes to your mind. We're trying to keep it all loose and free here, and we're trying to see what y'all know about some music. So y'all ready?
All right, let's do it.
All right, cool. So first song coming your way.
It's a jam band, whoever it is.
Started Begonias for Grateful Dead.
There we go. All right, he got it. All right, we got it. I knew he was going to get it, man. That's my Grateful Dead guy right there. All right.
I know one song from Grateful Dead.
There you go.
2 maybe.
The one we play.
3 then. I know
Yeah.
3 then. Yeah.
Yeah, so the cool thing about Scarlet Begonias is I love the cover by Sublime. I'm a huge Sublime guy. So when I heard that first by Sublime, I didn't even know that was a Grateful Dead song. And I was doing some research when he told me he was a big Grateful Dead fan, and I was like, wow, that's where it originally came from. That's awesome stuff. So I knew my man Lee would pick up on that. That's good stuff.
Like Bradley Noel's, said as I was walking down Rub-A-Dub Street, and Grateful Dead, as I was walking down I can't really.
The lyrics, yeah.
Yeah, I can't pronounce
Right.
that word when I'm talking. I can when I'm singing, but
Right.
yeah, and that's an awesome thing is where Sublime was in a lot of people's minds different genre,
Totally.
more of a reggae kind of bass band, and took it and made it their own,
Yeah.
And I think that Jerry would have smiled about that.
Oh, absolutely. I think he would have too. That's a great jamming song. I mean, you talk about the jam bands. I love that beat that they put in that Sublime version. It's great. It's real groovy. So I like that. But we got
Hold on
something.
just a second. Can I talk about Grateful Dead for a second?
Go ahead, man. Yeah, that's what it's all
Absolutely.
about. Yeah, what you got?
When I was in probably 5th or 6th grade, my older sister, was probably about the same age as Lee here. She had a Grateful Dead shirt. And of
Okay.
course, their logo is it's a
The skull.
It's a
yeah.
skull. It looks
It's a
like it's
lightning
heavy as
bolt.
fuck.
Yeah, yeah,
You think,
right. Yeah.
Oh, they're a really heavy band.
You would think it's darker than it is. Yeah.
I remember buying the CD and saying, God damn. This is not heavy at all.
Right? No, I mean it's crazy.
Yeah, it was
yeah,
horrible.
dude.
I
Dude,
was
some
really
of those.
upset because
I'm telling you.
Hold on,
You're
listen.
expecting.
What was that one song? Uncle John's Band?
Yeah,
That's like their heaviest song.
Mm-hmm.
but they were heavy, just not in like a musical.
They're heavy with the deep tracks. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're coming in with the jams.
If
Yeah.
your logo was like a skull with a big crack
Yeah,
in it
right.
or lightning bolt in it,
Yeah.
they should be like a heavy metal.
I know,
A
right?
little misleading to a 5th or 6th grader.
Yeah, yeah,
I was really
totally.
upset.
Yeah, no, that's the funny thing about some of those 60s and 70s bands. I mean, like you talk about bands like my favorite band personally is Kiss, and I mean when you think about Kiss, it's like a kiss on the cheek or something. Nobody would think that's intimidating, but I mean it's just like those bands can be misleading sometimes with their names. So that's interesting.
Listen, Kiss and Grateful Dead are the two most marketable bands.
Right?
I
Yeah,
think
literally,
they
yeah.
probably sold the most merchandise of any band ever.
I'm telling you, man. That's,
Both bands.
Yeah, I mean, never underestimate the power of a good logo or a good name and where it could lead you down. So that's good stuff right there. We're 1 for 1 here on In One Ear in our music quiz segment here. But this second song here, I know Cody's going to get this because I've seen him wear a shirt of this band. So I think Cody's going to get this. But let's see what y'all got.
It sounds like Iron Maiden.
It is, but what song do we got,
Well,
man?
I don't know it. I couldn't tell you. But
Okay.
Got that artist there.
All right.
when the bass kicked in, I knew it was Iron Maiden. That bass,
yeah.
he's got a signature bass sound.
1986. Does that ring a bell?
Not really.
Okay.
right, I'll tell you.
Lee, do you got anything? Let's see. No,
Not at all.
Not just
Sea
off
of
that
Madness by Iron Maiden.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Sea of Madness. Yeah, I gotta
album
say
is that?
that's Somewhere in Time.
All right. I mean, I've
Yeah.
got them all. I just don't
Yeah,
know
I
when they come
figured.
out, so.
I figured you did,
Sometimes
man.
you just listen through and you don't even look at
Right.
the name twice. So.
Yeah, totally. Or some of them just don't stick out. I mean, for me, that opening riff, I mean, just going right into that riff, that's always been one
Now,
of my
was that
favorites.
Was that your choice there?
That was my choice.
Okay.
No, I always dig up out of the archives.
He's always got the classic rock on deck. I wish I had the knowledge that y'all have
no,
in here.
I mean, man, I got an Iron Maiden poster over my bed, so I mean, yeah, I'm always digging up the nice classic metal, and
It's too
whatnot.
bad she didn't have a Iron Maiden poster on her.
Yeah, that would be pretty hard. That'd be awesome.
All right, so yeah, that's Sea of Madness off of Somewhere in Time. That's my personal favorite Iron Maiden album. What's yours, Cody?
My personal favorite is the Number of the Beast.
Okay, that's probably the most
I like
classic
that one,
album.
and
yeah.
I like the one that's after it, and I couldn't tell you
Power
what-
Slave?
Yeah, Power
Power
Slave. That's a great
Slave,
one.
yeah,
I like
yeah,
the
dude.
first one with that first singer.
Oh, dude,
It's
with
really
Paul
good.
Di'Anno, yeah, man. I mean, you can't go wrong with any Iron Maiden. I mean, arguably one of the greatest metal bands of all time. But I mean, yeah, dude, I had to throw that in there. I saw you wearing an Iron Maiden shirt when you were producing that El Astronauta video, so I knew you would like Iron Maiden, man. So I had to throw that in there. But yeah, Sea of Madness. Off of Somewhere in Time. That's song number 2. So I stumped you all with one. This third one is taking it back and taking it a little different direction with the genre here. But Lee said he liked this artist here, so I'm
already
thinking
been
that.
mentioned. So.
Yeah, so I think y'all might get this one. Here we go. Here's song number 3.
Listen, my father didn't know the meaning of words.
Temptation, yeah,
It is. What song is
Is
it?
that Ball of Confusion?
Yeah. No.
Job that I never did find. Depressed and downhearted, I took the
He was about to say it.
I'm only familiar with a handful of Temptation
Sure.
songs, but I thought it was Ball of Confusion at first.
Get me Put me on the spot. I mean,
Yeah, I know, right?
It's not-
I always make this tough. I never put any of the mainstream ones on there. I always dig deep, and I got to see what you all know. So, any ideas, Lee?
I can tell you.
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Cloud9 by the Temptations.
Cloud9, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
my dad told me one time that was the first CD or no record he ever bought.
yeah?
Probably
Really?
in the '60s.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
He had to hide it from his parents.
The Temptations,
Yeah, 'cause
really?
He's a black people.
Yeah,
Back in the
yeah,
day,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
dude. That's
it was like
that's
real
crazy.
It was like
Yeah.
that was like
Uh-huh.
that was like buying Metallica back then.
Yeah, no, dude. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
That's interesting stuff that you say that there. I mean, back in the '60s, man, the Temptations. Who knew they would be so alienated back
Well, it
then?
wasn't just alienation. They were innovative too. And you know,
Yeah.
they were known for I guess they were a Motown band. They were on.
Right.
They were from up Detroit or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know they were like a psychedelic band too.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
exactly.
Kind of, you know, maybe not in the early but when maybe in the late '60s, early '70s, they kind of pushed the envelope a little bit.
Sure, they definitely did. I mean, Lee, what's your personal favorite or a couple favorite tracks by the Temptations?
I Wish It Would Rain.
Okay,
My favorite.
gotcha.
Such a good one.
All right, gotcha.
Like, you know, like when I was playing a lot of acoustic stuff, I used to play
Mm-hmm.
down this little place that's called Hilligan's now. It used to be called Froggies. And it was,
Yeah,
it was
Dean.
13th Street Cafe. And
Yeah, Dean was telling me about that when I interviewed him on here. I think it was the second or third episode. He was telling me about all the places that Hilligan's used to be. But yeah, elaborate on that. Go
when I
ahead.
played there, and at Tidball's and some other places in town, but Billy Swayze would always come out and see me play.
Cool.
And we both loved David Ruffin.
Okay.
I just have the belief that David Ruffin was the Temptations. After David Ruffin,
Yeah.
there's nothing else.
Right.
But, so when I heard that's a song that I used to play that he wanted me to play a lot. So I Wish It Would Rain. So when Billy passed away, I just sat on my kitchen table
Dude.
and played that.
Great
That's
memories
deep.
of
Yeah,
that.
that's deep stuff there, man. But yeah, that's so y'all went 1 for 3. I mean, if we're talking baseball terms, you know, that gets you in the Hall of Fame in Major League Baseball, going 1 for 3. So I mean, hey, 1 for 3 is better than the Josephines. You know, Alex and yeah, there you go. Boom, boom. Give them the
Casey got
nuts there.
baseball on
But yeah, I mean, Alex and Brad of the Josephines, they went 0 for 3 when I interviewed them in their little music quiz. So hey, you
Could
did
be worse.
You did better
I
than
mean,
the Josephines.
Were they the only two that came to the
That
show?
was it was Brad and
So,
Alex.
that's why they went 0-3.
Because it was Brad and Alex, right?
Because there's some goofballs.
They told me, hey, trust me. They told me they were like, yeah, we're kind of the funny guys. We just kind of we kind of make the interview fun. But they were like, yeah, Zach and the other guys would probably be better
Yes,
at
they
that.
would have been much better candidates for this gig.
Yeah, and that's what I told them. I was like, we're gonna have them on in the future, and we're gonna have to see what they got at the little music quiz. But hey,
You'll have to
not
play the
bad.
same songs and see
I
how
know,
they
right?
do.
See how they do? Yeah. So not bad there. 1 of 3. But how'd y'all like that little music quiz? You think it's a good little segment? You like it?
Yeah, no, I love trivia. So
Okay, he likes trivia.
Nice.
Okay, I like
A
it. I
little
like
challenge
it.
here.
Yeah, just a little challenge. All right.
Those weren't classic rock songs, by the way.
Well, I mean, Grateful Dead. I mean, that's arguably. I mean,
No, I guess they
Maiden.
were.
Yeah, Maiden. I guess you could kind of throw in there. It's more metal though. But yeah, and the Temptations.
Well-
I'll just say classic in general. You know.
That fits.
Yeah, sure. So there we have it. We have a little music quiz segment. But next up here, we're going to kind of get into the nitty gritty, as I like to say. We're going to get into the deeper subjects a little bit. We're going to ask y'all about y'all's past and y'all's coming up in the scene and what y'all can kind of remember and recall and how it represents you all today. So we're going to get into that a little bit. But coming up next, we got Eden and Bourbon River featuring Cody Meek. You're listening to In One Ear Local Music News with Casey Warner and Kendal Hahn.
Deep inside of this hole I've called a heart for you. Our dying notions of a breathing embodiment of perfection. A life I've given, a life I will most surely take away. Is this mirage I praised and worshipped for so long? I need this thing to unwrap itself so I can breathe. But I'll ask this thing to wrap around me twice so I can choke to death on its stride.
So I go lusting, drinking, wishfully thinking that this Bourbon River would flow me back to you, but alas, all my scheming, nothing but dreaming, and all of my reasons, they left with you. I drift further away. I know you don't want me to stay, so I'll keep chasing my liquor with all I yesterday. Yeah, yes. And I'm still sinking, constantly thinking today will be the day I get back home to you, but this river keeps flowing, and it's sweet in knowing that one day I'll go to sleep and dream no more of you. I drift further away. I know you don't want me to stay, so I'll keep swimming in this bottle, drowning in this whiskey. Hey, yeah, yes. And I wake up thinking, go back to drinking, holding this bottle the way that I held you, and I'm not even coping, giving up on hoping I won't find myself till I lose you. I drift further away. I know you don't want me to stay, so I'll keep chasing my liquor with all I yesterday. Yeah, yes.
We're back here on In One Ear Local Music News. Casey Warner and Kendal Hahn here with Lee Harvey and Cody Meek. And those two songs you just heard were featuring Cody Meek, but he kind of just wants to add his 2 cents in here about what those songs were and how he fit in.
Well, the song Eden was from P.Y.L.O.T. That's the first one I was ever in. We were a metal band, and you know, it was very successful if you consider playing, you know, every weekend successful.
Sure.
But which is the equivalent of being the most popular guy in prison. But,
Okay.
anyway, you know, we really didn't do much outside of this area, but we were a very popular band. And then the Outhouse Etiquette band was a band I was in, you know, the most recent band I was in before I started playing with Lee Harvey. And that song there was Bourbon River, because that's the only song from us that can be played on the radio.
Okay, so got a little explicit, a little expressive tunes in there. I like that. That's good stuff there. All right,
well, we were the blues rock. We were called a blues rock blues band.
Okay,
that's
gotcha.
That's the term I coined.
Yeah,
and I expect to be credited for it.
Okay, yeah. Hey, he's got to throw it in there. That's why I asked, man. Got to.
Next time we use it, we'll make sure to give you some credit here.
Yeah, totally. Got to put that in there. All right. So, fellas, we're gonna get to know y'all's past in the scene a little bit. But first of all, I want to ask you all: how do local musicians and Kentucky musicians influence you all in what you do? You know how we're talking about all these local musicians that I come in here and interview, but how do those people influence you all in what you do and keep you going?
I got a really good friend of mine, Josh Thurman, who is Axon the Oak, and he and I send songs back and forth to one another. Yeah. And just that alone, he'll send me some lyrics, or he'll send me a video of him playing a new song, and it kind of gets me itching a little bit to write.
Yeah.
You know,
That's awesome.
And find a medley. And when I go out and see bands, the little bit that I do right now, just seeing somebody else perform kind of flows that blood a little bit faster too. And you know, it's just I used to play in Nashville a whole lot, and I played in Evansville a lot. And Bowling Green does, even if I may not like the actual music that somebody's playing, I can respect it. And it seems like everybody, you know, for the most part, respects one another. There's a few here and there that don't really have that mutual respect, and that's fine. I don't, you know, think about or worry about those people. But, you know, it's just, like I said before, there was 10 years that I hardly played music at all. I didn't play any of my music at all. I would play, you know, restaurant gigs and play cover songs and stuff. But when I came back, the same guys that I had, you know, played shows with in the past welcomed me as if I'd never been gone, and I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
So just, I think the camaraderie, you know, of its own is kind of a driving force itself.
Sure. What about you, Cody?
And then the question was the influence of local and Kentucky.
Yeah. How do local and Kentucky musicians
you know,
influence you and keep you going?
You hear a good song, you want to do that too. You want to write a good song. You want to play the riff or whatever. Of course, I'm a little younger than Lee Harvey here, so not much, but a little bit. And you know, 20 years ago when I started playing, I kept up with some of the heavier bands. Mm-hmm. But then I worked in radio too, and I kind of did what you're doing right now. And I met all these other guys, and you know, some of them may not have been bands I was really into, but there were people that was always nice to me, and you never forget that kind of stuff either. And then when you get older, you realize, hey, they wrote some good songs too. I think songwriting is the key. To influence me anyway. You know, you hear a good song, it doesn't matter what it is, what genre it is. That influences me, and that gives me kind of thing, you know, to think. And I mean, obviously, ideas come naturally, or what's the term, organically.
Sure.
You don't really want to. It's not like you steal an idea, but you hear a song, you think, well. And then later you're playing an acoustic guitar or whatever, and you think, oh, this would work. And then later, even later than that, you say, well, it kind of reminds me of this song I heard from so-and-so. Mm-hmm. And it could be a popular music song, or it could be a local song. Now, as far as a Kentucky band, just real quick, you know, the most Kentucky band is the Kentucky Headhunters.
There you go, man. Hey, I love that. I mean, I don't get into much country or southern rock, but I love.
That's a statement. Once again, I'd like to get credited for if it ever gets brought up again.
Yeah,
because you know they have Kentucky in their name.
Right, totally. Yeah, I mean, I love the Kentucky Headhunters. I mean, you can't go wrong with some Dumas Walker, man. I mean, that's classic, dude.
You know, for what it's worth, and you know, I assume you've seen them play several times. I've only seen him play one time in my whole life. I've
never seen him, man. So I mean, I'd kill to see him.
But I hang out. Well, not hang out, but I've hung out with all.
Yeah, sure.
A couple of them at different times, and I like hanging out with these older guys.
Yeah,
that's kind of like the Lee Harvey band. I was the youngest guy in the band. I'm an old guy.
Okay,
you know?
okay.
Like I'm getting on up in age, you know. But these other guys are a little bit older than me.
I'm retiring in about 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can retire in literally 9 years.
Yeah.
Anyway. If you know, as everything works out. Anyway, I like the stories. There's another guy that jams with us sometimes. His name's Tim, and this guy, he knows like whoever me and Lee don't know. This guy knows.
Of course, yeah. Everybody knows everybody.
I love the stories, and I love the exchange of ideas that happens through the stories, and it's inadvertent. You don't realize it till later.
Sure.
Cool. What does being in the Bowling Green music scene mean to both of you? How has it kind of shaped you?
I feel like I've been in the Bowling Green music scene my whole life.
Right, so it's just kind of a part of you at this point.
Yeah, because when I was a kid, I was brought up in a really strict Baptist cult.
Okay.
And so I would ride my bike sometimes. When I was probably in my pre-teens to teenager, I'd ride my bike around town. And, you know, at that time, the Cheese was toward the end of their time, and Biscuits and Jane Pearl and, you know, all these different places. Picasso's was open.
My mom worked there back in the day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I would ride my bike around and listen to these bands, Johnny Thompson, and I always wanted, I want to be like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, when I got older and as a teenager, me and some friends of mine started some little bands and did some battle bands, whatever, you know, some more bluesy stuff. I went to seminary, I came back and just started writing songs, you know, like crazy.
That's awesome.
And just kind of like never looked back. Even when I took a little hiatus, I still had a little bit of that taste in my mouth.
Yeah, it's always there. Mm-hmm.
And that, hunger and thirst. But
Good stuff.
My sister dated every rock and roll guy in Glasgow.
Oh, really? Really?
No kidding, she really did.
Oh, yeah? Some of the guys from
So you were
Blackstone
in there?
Cherry, even?
No. That's my older sister.
Okay,
I
gotcha.
only have
gotcha.
one sister, but no,
Okay.
I'm talking about older guys, and they're
Okay,
all
older, all right, gotcha.
They're all like 50 or
Sure,
plus
sure.
now.
Uh-huh.
And I ended up being really good friends with all of them.
Oh, okay.
Other than
Awesome.
the people I grew up with,
Yeah.
I don't have any other friends except the local music people. I mean, I'm talking about the people I grew up with and I've known my whole life. Everybody else I've met was through playing music.
yeah.
So, to me, it's there's a creativity in songwriting and performance aspects of everything, but that's kind of, like I'm going to Tidball's tonight for
Yeah.
a private event.
Nice.
And it's kind of, now the girls having the event, I did grow up with her, but everybody else that is there that's a close friend I met through music, whether they played or whether they just came to shows, and that's their scene too, because even though they
Sure.
may not be a performer, that's what they're part of, and they're part of not necessarily one bar, but the whole scene because they're a fan of creativity and local
Connects
music.
all of you.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. I was talking with Brad and Alex of the Josephines on the previous episode about how it's just it's a real family and a real community. And my 3 years of living here in Bowling Green, that's what I've gained from it, because I was telling them on our last episode how I'm a kid from Louisville, a city of over 200, 300,000, even over 1 million in the metro. And when you move from a city like that to a city like Bowling Green, you don't really know what to expect music scene wise or what kind of shows you're going to be able to catch here. And I just remember the first show I went to was at Tidball's. It was Luther, and Luther, they're a pretty cool little Barron County
They're
Glasgow band.
guys.
Yeah, Glasgow guys. And
my sister didn't date any of those kids,
okay.
but
Yeah.
I remember hearing about it.
Yeah, and Luther was my first show down here, and I was like, what is this Tidball's place? What is this? How could a town of 60,000 have a music scene like this? And over the years, I've just been able to go to so many shows and meet so many great musicians like each of you, and it's been such a great experience to be able to expand my music taste and expand my horizons and try these new things.
It's so unique and such a connected feeling every time you're there and you're right in it.
Exactly. Very connected. And that kind of just leads us into our next question I wanted to ask each of you all, and that is, what is each of your all's favorite memory of being in the scene? Whether it was a show that you were at, a show that you played, or just being at Tidball's one night. What's each of your all's favorite memory being in the scene?
It's kind of tough. There's a lot of memories.
So many, right? Yeah.
A lot of memories I don't remember.
Well, the memories I would have wouldn't involve music.
That's what most people
They would
say
be
on
like
here.
after,
Yeah.
the show was over.
Yeah.
But for me, it would be in the P.Y.L.O.T era. But
Okay.
we were not really a Bowling Green band.
Sure.
So it would be unfair for me to tell that story or whatever. But we had a lot of good. We did play Western's campus a few times. We played some big
okay.
shows there. But anyway, the memories at the end of the day are not me on stage. They were hanging out with people. And being with
Making
friends,
connections
or
with
a
those
conversation we had where we laughed, till we couldn't stand it anymore, stuff like that.
Love
Sure. What about you, Lee? Is there one you can think of, man?
I worked at Tidball's for about 8 years.
Okay.
And saw a lot of great bands. I played that stage. I would say, I'm pretty sure I played that stage more than anybody else has.
Wow.
I hosted open mic there every Monday for years.
Awesome.
But a few years ago, I had a series of strokes, and when I got out of the hospital, a friend of mine from high school, Seth Sprouse, who's an incredible musician here in town and has played music in this town for as long as I have or more, put a benefit for me together. And a lot of bands that I had either played with in the past or people who had been in my band in the past played. Michael Goff played bass with me for a while. I used to play a lot of shows at Florida. And that's a memory that those guys took time and the fans took time out of their life to come and help me
That's
out.
awesome.
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
It is, man.
There are people now. There's a couple of people in the scene that are having a hard time and some health problems and stuff, and we're putting stuff together to help them out because that's what we're here for. We're at the end of the day. I think that the divine or the universe or whatever, it gives us music so that we can communicate with one another and we can send love back and forth, and then in turn we help one another out.
For sure.
That's what it's all about.
Good stuff.
Yeah, totally. I mean, like we mentioned, like the families, it's just the Bowling Green music scene family. That's what it's all about. And you talk about benefits and stuff like that. BG covers BG. That was a nice little benefit they put together to benefit Tidballs. And there's been a lot of stuff to benefit Tidballs here in recent years. So, yeah, we're going to kind of wrap this interview up. And Kendal, just go ahead and ask them about, social media and whatnot.
Yeah, so can we find both of you all on social media? If anybody wants to listen to your music, how can we find it? Are you on all the platforms, or, kind of where can people find you if they want to listen?
Yeah, plug it in.
I have a Facebook. I have Lee Harvey Facebook, and I have some videos and music on there. But at this time, I have a couple videos on YouTube that I did with Yellowberry.
Cool.
And we have the Marquee Backstage stuff that we did with Julie Milan and WNKY. So you can go to YouTube and search Lee Harvey Concert 1, Lee Harvey Concert 2, and there's 5 songs. But I'm in the process of working on a couple different projects, and I'm working on a pretty stripped down acoustic thing that I hope Cody continues to work on with. He did Burning Again down at Tim's with me, and then I want to finish a full band thing that we started last year before the pestilence.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Cool.
So hopefully in the next few months we'll have some stuff out. And
Yeah, that'd be
get it to
great.
you.
We'll be on the lookout for it for sure.
Cool. What about you, Cody?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just on Facebook and Instagram, Cody Meek.
Okay, gotcha.
And, I don't have any music to promote at the moment. I'm still trying to write songs and trying to, always create.
Of course,
That's what
keep it open.
That's what
man.
we're here to do.
Right.
At least, and I have more time than ever now to do that. So
Yeah, of course.
I try to do that. So.
Cool.
Absolutely. All right, well, there you have it. Cody Meek and Lee Harvey, 2 talented musicians, 2 musicians that help make up what is the 270 Bowling Green music scene. Thank you all for your time, fellas.
Yeah, we
Thank you.
appreciate it a lot. Thank you all.
I personally do, and I believe Cody would agree that we really appreciate what you guys are doing. And there's so many musicians out there, and there's so many songwriters, and all genres you can think of, and we just keep pushing each other out there.
Yeah, we'd love to talk to whoever we can, so we love to hear all about you all and what you're doing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, anybody and everybody in the Bowling Green music scene. You heard it here. Casey Warner, Kendal Hahn. We interview all of them. But coming up next, we got Cynthia Michelle by Lee Harvey and Human Power featuring Cody Meek. You've been listening to In One Ear Local Music News with Casey Warner, Kendal Hahn, Lee Harvey, and Cody Meek.
You're my everything. I don't know what makes the world go round. I don't care what goes on downtown anymore. I know one thing for sure. I love you, I can never try to repay the love you sent my way. I know sometimes I'm too much to handle. Somehow, girl, you get a handle on me. I can't wait to see the love that the future holds. You're the one that I was told I would find in due time. My dad said, boy, there's a girl out there with green eyes and beautiful hair, and I'll be damned if that ain't you. Could never try to repay the love you sent my way. I know sometimes I'm too much much to handle. Somehow, girl, you get a handle on me. I can't wait to see the love that the future holds. You're the one that I was told I would find in due time. My dad said, boy, there's a girl out there with green eyes and beautiful hair, and I'll be damned if that ain't you.
You have lost